number from the states was 70%. Now over the years, blame Wisconsin Central, they're big companies and not knowing how to get connected with the people, or maybe getting disconnected with the markets. Certainly our research has found that Michigan is disconnected with this market. We have, my secretary herself has been, her and her husband came up here a lot and rode the ACR line to various different venues along the line, yet her son and her grandson is now disconnected from that process. So we believe that doing a better or doing a more intensified marketing in the States is going to help too. But also you now have Toronto, which is the fastest growing mega city in the world, and you have a lot of young people there. A lot of the people in the millennial generation likes trains, they like riding trains. And so now we're going to highlight all the different outdoor activities that you can do here 4 times a year. And we believe that we're going to have them coming from those directions in Canada as well. So we believe this is a good time. The whole pursuit of trying to save the train and make it self-sustainable will actually add 15,000, 20,000 more people a year coming into the Sault Ste. Marie, which will help all the industry, all the tourism industry, all the hotels, restaurants, and so just by pursuing the goal together, I say together meaning the stakeholders, ourselves, the community leaders. By pursuing these goals together, not only will we save the train, but we'll actually add significantly to the economics. And it's very important to me right off the bat on communications. I want the working group to stay active. I want us to be all communicating, because unfortunately it can't be business as usual, because technically we're buying a business today that loses $2.2 million a year, and while that was backstopped in years past with the government, they've said no. And this new plan, we need to run it more like a railroad, more like a business, and promote it like it should. You're going to find almost as soon as we take over, we're promoting the winter activities. We're promoting snow skiing and snowmobiling and ice climbing and just winter getaway, romantic getaways. And we have to start now to try to build a good momentum for December and this winter season later on. We can do it. I'm very confident. We have a lot of people that support the train. I've made it really clear that our goal is to identify all the different venues up and down the line, some of which may not have a very good internet presence or compared to others, but through us and through the railroad they will. We'll market them, and it's going to be exciting. Some statistics that you might want to know: Canada has the 3rd largest rail network in the world, and although Canadians represent about 32 million in terms of population, about 74 million Canadians ride trains every year. So trains is a big deal, and we think that the process of turning this train around using solid economic principles to do so will be a marker, or will be an example for even other trains in Canada and also in the U.S. as well.
So you're going to be, if I just understand it right, you're going to be using existing ACR train cars and enhancing them into diner cars? Is that what you're going to be doing?
We're going to be adding some rail cars. Yes, and we are going to be adding some rail cars to the mix. And I guess I want to just try to separate for a minute the tour train from the passenger train. Right. And I can easily make this separation. The tour train, in terms of what it just needs to have a better. We're going to make sure it has a better customer experience, so that the customers are they want to come back. And then of course we're going to be e-connected with them too, which they're not e-connected now. And all industries are needing to e-connect with customers now today. We're going to offer a rewards program and different kind of things to ensure that these people will come back. But the tour train, its growth is going to be, it's kind of relatively simple. We're going to next year bring the season in earlier instead of late June. We're going to continue to do more intense marketing to groups, and then we're going to also focus on the park and increasing the customer experience. Everything else you hear us talk about doing outside the tour train is for the benefit of saving or making sure that the ACR train becomes self-sustainable. We're going to, one of the things that holds it back now is that it has a limited number of capacity for moving snowmobiles. But we're going to fix that by adding more baggage cars, so that you don't have to turn down groups of 30 or more that want to have a snowmobile activity.
Mr.
Now,
Brown, my apologies for interrupting you.
Okay.
You sound like you have a very ambitious plan
Okay.
with a lot of variables you hope to see succeed. It was announced tonight that this is a 3-year agreement. How confident are you?
That's
that's
really
going to be met in that 3 years?
Yeah, I'm not. No, we're not. No, we're not going to meet it in 3 years. The original agreement
was for 5 years.
Well, the original agreement, I'll just share with you now. The original agreement was a 7-year commitment over 5 years. Now, yes, it was.
You want $7 million over 5 years.
The original commitment. I'm sorry. The original request. Excuse me. The original request was $7 million over 5 years.
Right.
In the same time period, if the government had just continued to fund it business as usual, that number would have been somewhere around $11 million. So already, we're saying in the same 5-year period that we're going to be about 45% cheaper as we move towards economic sustainability. And so one of the things we convinced them was that there's a certain point in the middle of the 5-year period when, if the government's paying out $1 million over here as the annual subsidy that year, if we're bringing in all these extra 20,000 more visitors a year, the economics shows that the government's actually making at some point $1 million more than they would have without the plan over here. So as we move to the end of the 5-year period, then the train becomes self-sustainable, and the Canadian government is actually picking up more tax money as a result of us growing the business.
Now, how long do you think it would take before it becomes self-sustainable?
It's 5 years.
The funding is for 3 years.
Okay. So I'm gonna speak to that. So
when do you see yourself being self-sustainable?
Okay, it's still 5 years. The number is still 5 years. So if you want to take $7 million, which is the 5-year plan, which is still the 5-year plan, minus the 5.3 that was awarded. When we submitted the $7 million plan, we showed 5 years. In year 1, we think the subsidy would be this, then this, and it goes down. Right. See, yeah. So so if you add up years 1, 2, and 3, that's 5.4 million. I mean, in other words, they gave us what we asked for, or what we collectively asked for. They fully supported the plan. The problem was the minister's office. They can't award money beyond something that the legislature hasn't provided her with, or with the funds. So it's. I mean, when they called me back, I said, "Look, it's no big deal. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can't. I doubt they're going to call the legislature in session just to add 2 more years onto our deal. I mean, that particular funding is going to run out. So, in the process of the 3-year period, we're obviously going to reach out to the other 2 railroads, and we're going to start working on numbers, and certainly Transport Canada knows that we have those remaining 2 years. And we're going to be very open and transparent. I mean, I'm going to be sharing numbers at times, just like I was a publicly held company, because I want the public to know how we're doing in terms of tracking to the goals. And I think it'd be fine. As a matter of fact, in my discussions with Transport Canada, I said, if they like what they see, what we're doing here in Sault Ste. Marie, maybe those other 2 trains are losing money. You can let me run those too.
But again, the money that we receive is for